All right, beautiful day, nice and crisp. Supposed to have similar conditions, possibility of a little bit rain on Sunday, but it's good to get out there and feel that. Run off a little bit of Thanksgiving too, and guys just moving around, having a good time. Really grateful to be working at this time of year with these guys and putting the whole plan together.
Dave, didn't see Jaycee Horn today. Everything good with him?
He's fine. He's healthy. Personal reasons, so he went back home. He'll be back tomorrow.
As far as the guys that haven't practiced all week, is it safe to say that you're ruling out the two players with concussions as well as Chandler and some of these other guys?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the list of guys that we thought, we were trying to get back out there to see if we could move them around. We weren't able to do that. So, that's Chandler, that's Jaycee, that's Claude, and Christian, yes.
And Horn.
And Jimmy will be fine. Yeah. You're talking about Jaycee. Yeah, I said Jaycee. Yep.
Say who's going to start in place of Trayvon and Jaycee?
We got a bunch of guys that we're working on having in there, a little rotation. Shaw Smith-Wade will be available there. Caleb Evans will be available as well. And inside at linebacker, Chris Barnes, he did a really good job last week. We expect Chris to be in there with Trevin, and Bam Martin-Scott's got to be ready to contribute as well.
Safety.
Safety, we'll have our three. And then Isaiah Simmons, we plan on bringing him. He'll be helping out on special teams, and he's been in the meetings just, ready to go if we need him.
From the standpoint of the secondary, with so many moving parts and how much you guys like to move parts, how difficult has that been this week? Just trying to figure out the plan for when you go to big nickel or when you have your dime coverages.
Yeah, I mean, opportunities. This is something that, Lathan has really been working on for a while now, and so he had a chance to be out there with Nick Scott, communicating with him. Damani's been really, a part of what we're doing. He's into it. He's ready to rock as well. And, of course, Shaw Smith-Wade, he'll be playing mostly nickel and corner, but he's a part of that conversation as well, just in terms of having the communication and making sure we're on the same page. So I trust these guys to get it done, and they had a great week of preparation.
Shaw hasn't really played a lot of outside since he's been in the NFL. In your experience, is it easy for guys to kind of click back into something they did in college but haven't done in a couple of years, or does it take a little bit of time to just kind of knock that rust off?
Yeah, you work through it. At the same time, he's got a lot of reps out there. A lot of time on task with his eyes on the edge and playing that way. So trusting in that part of it, and then of course just throughout the course of the season, throughout the course of camp, he's been out there and done different things. So it's not strictly in his nickel role, and so really counting on him to just come and help his teammates out, and he'll be ready to go.
He's also unavailable Sunday.
Yes.
Jake Curhan, obviously, you've worked with for a little while in Seattle, and then he played really well against the Packers. What does he do well at right guard?
Generally, Jake is a really intelligent guy and understands our schemes, what we're trying to get done. He's got a lot of experience, so different fronts, different types of movement. He's used to those things. And then on top of that, he's massive. He is a big man, and he's got great power in the run game, and in the pass game, he sets tight and uses his hands, and that's what I've known about Jake for a long time now. Whether it was tackle or guard, just his ability to process the game and make the adjustments that are required during the middle of a game. So I trust Jake a lot. I'm glad he's here, and he's got a great opportunity this week.
It seems like you're going to need more than just 2 elevations from the practice squad, just especially with the offensive line. I think you guys are down to 7 on the active roster, and Brandon's got he's met his limit. When you have to figure out who's going to the 53, what are those conversations like with Dan, and how much does that have to be kind of an overarching thing? Maybe this could be kind of a 2 or 3 week look.
Yeah, there's a lot of strategy to it. Of course, you got to consider the 3 call-ups that you get for practice squad players, and then figure out from there what does our depth situation look like on the 53, and try to make the best decision on, who's probably going to be on the if we move them up, who's probably going to be on there the longest. And so we have all those conversations with Dan and Brent and I. A lot of strategy goes into it, and trying to get the right mix of guys. And sometimes you're able to just elevate the guys that you have here on your team, and sometimes you got to go outside and to build the full depth. It's first and foremost, it's about the game, but then it's also practice and being able to have a great practice and having the right amount of receivers, DBs, et cetera, to do that. So a lot of stuff goes into it.
Dave, y'all haven't lost back-to-back games since week 2. What do you kind of attribute to that mindset, being able to bounce back like that?
Our process and just the belief that we're trying to find our best football and making sure that we compartmentalize each game, win or lose. Just look at the game and what the result was, be specific about it so that we can make improvements and try to shore up some of the things that we missed, and then try to replicate the things that are working for us. And so that mentality, our pursuit, get better every week. Our pursuit is to have continual growth fundamentally, and especially from a scheme standpoint, the details that it requires. Teams just keep getting better and better the further along we go into the season, where you know what you're running. Your opponents, they know what you're running. So there's a lot of execution that happens on a fundamental level when people are more aware of what you're trying to do in the different phases.
What kind of week did Mike White have repping, I guess, Stafford?
He did an excellent job, and Jarrah was very complimentary of Mike and Andy, of being able to try to replicate the speed of play, how they break the huddle, how they get up to the line, the shifts and motions, all have to be really crisp, and our guys did a great job all across the board for a couple of days, and really appreciative of our scout team making that come to life, because we have to be ready for that pace of play.
We've asked you about just the challenges of facing Jared Verse and how you might try to combat that.
Jared Verse and Byron Young, both guys, and then they have a good rotation also, behind them. But, Jared Verse packs a punch. He's got a lot of power on the edge. He's disruptive. He'll fool you and he'll jump around at times. So you just have to make sure that you keep your feet in the ground. And that's the biggest thing, is feet in the ground, get your hands on early. Ball snap, hands got to be on, because this is a really shifty movement style of front. And then, of course, just their pass rush. They're relentless, and he looks for his opportunities. And I appreciate the style of play, even when it shows up on, we're watching field goal block, and they're giving great effort. It's Fisk inside and 8, and they give a lot of effort every time they're on the field.
Dave, I asked Bryce the other day about the Rams coming back to L.A. when he was in high school. Do you remember the Rams leaving L.A.?
I do. I was a Rams fan when, back in the day, and so you kind of have to pick. You're in L.A. Are you going to be a Raiders fan or a Rams fan? I was a Rams fan at the time. That was Jim Everett, and it was that whole crew. So I remember them leaving, and I remember just being so pissed. And, at the time, Dan Marino was my favorite player. So once the Rams left L.A., I was like, all right, well, I think I'm a Dolphins fan now, because I'm always following Dan. And so there was a little back and forth. But to get the Rams back in L.A. meant a lot, I'm sure, for the community and all the people that were still rocking their Rams stuff, for my whole childhood. So, I don't know. That was before Bryce, so he probably doesn't remember that.